So Florida passes law banning social media for minors under the age of 14, okay? The story comes out, I believe, Rob, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, right? And here's what the story tells. Ron DeSantis signed legislation Monday that prohibits people under the age of 14 from having social media accounts regardless of parental consent, one of the most restrictive laws aimed at curbing social media access for minors. Under the new law, social media companies are required to close accounts believed to be used by minors under the age of 14. The platforms must also cancel accounts at the request of parents or minors, and all information from the accounts must be deleted. The law is set to take effect on January 1st, 2025. Minors who are 14 or 15 years old can obtain a social media account with parental consent. According to the new law, accounts already belonging to teens of that age must be deleted if a parent or guardian hasn't consented. Tom, thoughts on this?
This is a very good law. We have the data, but you know what? The tech sector doesn't want to look at it. We have data on young girls and depression that is directly related to social media. We have data on sexting and bullying of underage kids. We have data of trafficking and predators that are coming out to prey on these impressionable kids that are looking for validation, looking for someone to like them. And so now what we're saying is, hey, we're not just going to, what if you're a single mom? What if you're really busy? What if you just didn't know? Nope. We're giving you some support. And the support we're giving you is the law, and the requirements are in there, is that they can't have an account and they can't be doing this. And kids are going to say, but I want it, but I want it, but I want it. Well, look, when I was 17, in Florida at the time, I wanted to be able to drink, but I couldn't. It wasn't legal. I couldn't go to any places. And they changed the age to 19, finally to 21. So sometimes what the law is there because what you want, it's good for you not to get it.
So and is there anything about it, Tom, that you're uncomfortable with? Think the other way around. Like, is there anything for you where you say, I think it's a slippery slope? Or are you like, nope, I'm 100% with it and I support it?
I'm with it and I support it because of the data that we have on depression, bullying, trafficking, and predators. We have data.
Okay, got it. So,
but did you miss, what was the stat for the whole LGBTQ trans chopping of your genitalia off? How much is that going up?
There's a lot of influential things in there, but I'm just talking about, we have data on depression, bullying, sex trafficking, and predators.
Yeah, no, and I'm all for it, because at 14, what do you, like, you have those parents that just give their kids the tablet or the phone and they just walk away from them. I think it's really, really irresponsible. I think up to 14, it's a great law.
And we say you can't have a driver's license till you're 16 because of certain judgments and things that we want to.
Rob, where are you with this, Rob? Where are you with this?
I have a 14-year-old. I wouldn't want him on social media at 14. So I'm definitely pro banning it for kids under the age of 14. I don't know how old your daughters are, Tom, but my 14-year-old has a cell phone, but he's only allowed to use it when it's the weekends or during the week when he has to contact his mother. Other than that, he's not allowed to have his cell phone because what happens, they get in that doom scrolling where all they do is scroll.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be his life. At this age, we have to be in front of devices. You run many companies, you have to be attached to your computer, your iPad, your phone. These kids don't need to be. So why are we putting it in their faces now?
Rob, all the apps.
Mine are 17, 12. I'm on the same page.
Yeah, Rob, but the apps that you allow on the phone, that's up to you. Your kid can't go on there and download an app by himself, can he?
On the 14-year-old,
he can. He has access.
I'd have to check. His mother set up the cell phone.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Prior to that, we had a thing called a gizmodo. It was a watch where literally he could only make phone calls to like 4 people, and he could only receive incoming calls from people who knew that number. It was a perfect setup because if we ever needed to get a hold of him, we could call him. But
Did
he
you
was
have any
not
issues
texting.
with that or no? Did you like that?
No, I loved it. It was fantastic. But it got to the age where all the other kids in school had a smartphone. Dad, can I have a smartphone? Okay, we can have one, but we're going to set up limitations.
That's a good point.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to Robert. By the way, last week was spring break, and I hope you don't mind I tell the story, but his son called him, and he's like, hey, I want to stay and play video games. Can I get access? Rob goes, go outside, kid. Go play.
I think I was there when you did that.
Yeah, I don't allow, because again, when you get to our age, you have to be inside. You have to work 9 hours a day.
Rob.
Being outside,
Respect.
that was the best part of being a kid, was meeting other kids in the neighborhood, riding bikes. That's how you form friendships, bonds forever. It's not on the internet.
By the way, shout out to Rob and Vinny. You guys do a phenomenal job on Unusual Suspects. For some of you guys that tune into these guys, you guys had 2,700 people live watching last week.
Last week.
Yeah, I'm excited about what you guys, and Rob speaks there a lot with Vinny. But
love you, Rob.
Adam, what are your thoughts on this? What do you want to say about this?
Well, look, I don't have kids like this, but I'm very close with my nephew. It's like my best friend, 11 years old. I do not want that kid anywhere near social media. All my best friends, all my closest cousins, they all have kids that are in elementaries, middle school. And all I do is I see these kids on their tablets, like, put the phone down. When we were growing up, dude, basketball, football, baseball, hide and seek, just go outside and play. You talked about the potential porn, sex trafficking, weird
horrible
stuff. Horrible. Obviously, that will eliminate that. Hopefully, those creepers will find a way. There's another side to this. We didn't grow up with social media. We didn't have anxiety and depression and all sort of the issues that young people are dealing with today. We would go outside. We would deal with the real world.
You have to be social.
You have to be social, not on social media.
Yeah, exactly.
And that shapes you. This is the most influential, impressionable time of your life.
Yep.
When you're 6 to 16, let's say. And when this new thing that never existed when we were growing up is just pumping stories, algorithms, weird stuff into your life every single day, dude, we have no clue. So Rory, my nephew, has an Apple Watch. If he needs to call someone, Apple Watch. There it is right there. I'm sure there's people that are going to object to this. I'm sure social media companies are going to object to this. I'm sure there's going to be backlash. But I got to give credit to Ron DeSantis for a very good idea.
Yeah. So I think the only thing is for some people that use the technology that's being managed by the parents and they use it as an album to later on hand it over to them when they're of the age. If those things get taken down, it'll be interesting because that takes a long time to gather and put together. And again, I think it's extreme. But am I more this than against it? 100%. The fact it'll be very interesting for him to do this on who's going to get upset about a decision like this being made when it's made.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if you guys heard. PBD's pretty big on social media. You have kids. You have 4 kids. Brooklyn's running around the house being the boss. When are you going to allow your kids to start doing stuff on social media?
Like having a phone to do stuff on social?
All the above. All the above.
No, there is no conversation about it. Dylan right now is convinced he's not getting to a phone until he's 16 years old.
Okay.
You ask Dylan right now what age he thinks he's getting a phone, it's 16 years old. Now, are they probably going to end up something earlier? Yes. Social, zero interest for anything to do with social. When I tell you zero, I mean zero interest for anything with social. I'm not even having a conversation until the age is 14. Zero. I'm not having that conversation until then. And even then, I may skip it, go one more year and one more year and one. The hardest thing is for you, like the other day, I love what Dylan said to one of his friends. I'm around some of his friends, and his friend's like, hey, listen, this is how I did it. Your dad's eventually going to give in. And I'm listening. He's going to cave. And Dylan says, you don't know my dad. I love that. I love that. He said that to his friend.
I'm super interested in your take on this specifically as the CEO of Valuetainment. Your kids actually have a social media profile.
100% managed by me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's my...
So break that down for me.
Yeah, I manage it myself.
Okay.
Because later on, if they're going to do something with sports, with movies, with docs, whatever it is, they're going to be able to go back. And it's such an easy system to give them an album instead of my phone's got 60,000 pictures, and you have to go through it. I like what Apple does when you just kind of click on a face and you're able to go see all the pictures by that person's face. And I like that.
Boom.
By the way, I don't even know why my phone has your face here. Check this out. Like
That's
I can
it?
go to your face. No, I literally have one that I go to. The other day I sent a video to Adam on
Yeah, that was great.
Sunday morning. I was surprised he texted back. I thought he'd be asleep. But so I like that.
What time did
feature
I
of-
text you back,
Actually,
BBD?
pretty early. So that means you didn't party Saturday night? What? Oh,
I
you
had,
did.
I had a triathlon on Sunday.
Okay.
I swear.
Whatever.
A triathlon, not like a drinking
Like
thing,
that's
but like
3 girls or what's it?
3 girls and alcohol, or
Like
what?
3 different
I
dates.
can't reveal my secrets.
Yeah.
I don't triathlon and tell. Just know
Snorting,
that I was
drinking, screwing.
Yeah.
Probably the modern triathlon.
just like you back in the day, Tom.
Yeah.
Papi Tomas, Italiano.
Giggity, giggity.
Papi Tomas. Okay, all right, so let's go to the next story here. Next story, do we want to go to Diddy? I think let's go to Diddy. Aside from that, for those of you guys that watch the podcast regularly, and maybe you have hot tea like me with honey, or you drink your coffee, to the coffee community, I'll most likely join you guys in 5 years, but at this point, I still don't need coffee. We have these new mugs. And by the way, this new mug that just came out is the PBD Podcast mug with Future Looks Bright on it. So let me kind of show this to you, and I'll tell you what we're running on this podcast And Kelly took care of this. Let me pour this so I don't burn
I'm
myself.
taking one. I'm acquiring one of those
Watch
after this.
here. So you pour the hot water in there if it's hot. And guess what it turns into, by the way, while you're having this hot tea or the drink. Let me see if this thing is hot. It is hot. All of a sudden, slowly but surely, you see the color changes.
I see it.
To the PBD Podcast colors.
Oh, that's sick.
And yes, you'll see the red and the blue of PBD Podcast color coming in. I don't know if the
Pat, you're like one of those models on those late night, like by the
listen,
QVC.
back in the day.
Your QVC, your PBD QVC.
Here's what we're doing. We got the Valuetainment mug. You have four different options on whichever one you want to get, whether it's the gold, the black, the red, the OG, red or the black. You buy two, you get the third one for free. Pick and choose which one you want. The link's going to be below. The discount code's going to be PBD Mugs, I believe. Right, Rob? PBD Mugs, plural. PBD MUGS. And what's the website to go to? VTmerch.com. Find the mugs, order two, and you'll get the third one for free.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.